Hello and welcome to the UPSC Mains Answer Writing Initiative. This is class number 18. This is the 18th day in a trot that we are now answering questions that UPSC has asked in the past and also giving you homework to submit. Very happy to see that a lot of you have been submitting this homework and have been improving your writing style as well. In case you are new here, every single day at 7 p.m. we have this session where we launch a discussion on previous year question asked by the UPSC from GS 1, 2 and 3. Try and decode it, try and see how to write that answer, how to make a structure, and then we'll give you homework also based on which you can write your own answer. In the very first class of this particular series, we had a big discussion about how to structure the answer. In case you have not watched that particular class, you can go to description of this video, click on the link of the playlist. First video is about how to structure the answer. Make sure that you see that in detail, how to write the introduction part, the main body, the conclusion, way forward, so on and so forth. That will really be helpful for you. Once you have seen that, you can come back and then resume from here. Let's see what is the question that we have taken up to answer today. We have taken up a question from 2023 GS3 paper. This question is from Indian economy. Distinguish between care economy and monetized economy. How can care economy be brought into monetized economy through women empowerment? Very interesting and important question. What do you mean by care economy and what do you mean by monetized economy? Usually when you talk about economic data, you talk about GDP growth, you talk about all these data, all that is actually monetized economy. Monetized economy is formal economy that you can measure. It leads to some services, some production, manufacturing, etc. That is proper monetized economy. Then there is care economy. Care economy means, for example, there are a lot of women who are working in the household, in their own household, and they're not getting paid for it. There would be some women in your household, maybe your mother, maybe someone else, who would be making food for you, who might be ensuring that the house is clean, who might be ensuring that everything is in order, who might be cleaning up the house and other activities. If in her place, you would have employed someone else, you would give them a salary. But because she is a family member, she is doing it all for free. And since there is no exchange of money happening, you are not paying her, no one else is paying her for this. What is happening is, this is a silent economy which is just not measured. This is not a part of our GDP because there is no data or there is no number to add value to that. This is called care economy. So again, care economy means that part of India's economy wherein you have women, mostly women working in the household, not getting paid for it. How can we ensure that that also becomes a part of our monetized economy, or how can that contribute to our GDP? That is through women empowerment. Empowering the women to take up more work, giving them more skills, initiating more government policies. For example, India right now has a good policy on maternity leave of 26 weeks. That if that is increased even further, women would be more empowered that they can again be a part of formal economy. This is what you have to write. So first part of the main body will be, you have to distinguish between care economy and monetized economy. That will be the first part of the answer. Second part of the answer will be suggestions on women empowerment. How women empowerment specifically can lead to care economy becoming more part of monetized economy. In other words, women getting paid for the work that they were not paid for so far. So let's start. In Indian economy, whichever mains question that you have, the best introduction will always be some facts and figures. If you have some figures, some facts, that will be a great introduction for any Indian economy question. For example, here we have written exact data about care economy. India's GDP is $3.7 trillion, which does not include care economy. In India, 2% of our GDP investment in the care economy would generate 11 million new jobs, which 35% of which will be women. Even if you remember any one of this data, it will be a good way to begin, because Indian economy, it's a subject based on facts, based on numbers, data. So there is nothing better in Indian economy questions Then if you can start the answer by giving a proper fact about the GDP, about the contribution in jobs, etc. Now in the main body first, we will properly distinguish between the two, care economy and monetized economy. Care economy, as I told you, is unpaid or underpaid work related to caregiving, mostly within the household. It can be child care, it can be elderly care, it can be domestic work, all of this. It's not always unpaid. It can be underpaid also. Underpaid means you are giving some money but not as much as you would give to a professional. You are giving some money just because they are helping your family out. So you think this is family ties, they are friends of yours, so you are helping them out. So it's either underpaid or it's completely unpaid. Monetized economy is a formal economy that has a monetary value. It usually includes production of goods. There are some services, exchanging hands. It is assessed by contribution to the GDP. So when we measure GDP of the country, we measure monetized economy. And this is also one of the reasons why there is a big disparity between GDP of India and some of the Western countries. In Western countries, you would have heard this story that you don't really get, that most of the women are working. So in order to ensure that there is household work done, both the family members or all the members in the family would have to contribute and not just women alone. That culture still does not exist in India. So first part we have answered, distinguishing between care and monetized economy. Second part was women empowerment, through which we can integrate care economy into monetized economy. First, we can provide pension insurance for women in these roles. See, if there is a woman who is engaged in household work, which is extremely important, once the woman reaches a certain age, she won't be able to continue this work. When you are working in a professional setting, after you retire in some jobs, you get a pension. If you're in a government job, you get pension after that. But when you are just doing your household work, you obviously do not get any pension after you decide to stop working. So maybe a pension scheme for women specifically who are engaged in these roles can be a good way forward. Second, development of skills amongst the women, because a lot of these women who at some point of time may want to join the formal workforce don't have enough skills to gain meaningful employment. So maybe if we can provide them enough skills that can allow them to become a part of the workforce and make a living working outside the family house. Supported government policies, for example, something like a national crash scheme for working mothers specifically. So big organizations, multinational organizations usually do have a crash. Crash means if you're a working mother, you have a small child, you can take the child with you and you can put the child in the crash, kind of a setting where they will be taken care of by some elders and you can go and visit from time to time. So this crash facility does not exist at a lot of workplaces. Maybe having a national crash scheme can help the mothers becoming more confident about stepping out of the house with their kid rather than being at home and thinking that taking care of the child is the only business that they have. Technological advancements so that we can free up women more, so that they can give more time outside the house rather than just taking care of the household work. These are some of the pointers related to women empowerment. If you want, you can include other points as well. Some drastic measures, for example, making it compulsory for women to be paid for household work, but those will be drastic measures. These are some of the usual measures that you can expect related to women empowerment, such as or so that care economy becomes a part of the monetized economy. Then we'll conclude it. In Indian economy, these kind of conclusions are really appreciated. Joining or basically combining this to a long-term goal. For example, if India wants to become a developed nation by 2047, contribution of half of our population should be brought into the mainstream. It will also help us achieve a sustainable development goal. So this is a conclusion that ties into the larger picture. That also is a very good way to conclude an answer, rather than just concluding by saying that we hope that the government policies are able to work in this order or they are able to support women. That is very generic. If you write exact fact-based numbers or fact by connecting it to a larger story that if we do this, we'll be able to achieve this goal or that goal. That will really end your answer on a very, very good note. So try and end the answer like this as well. This was our answer for the day. Here is your homework for the day. Again from GS3, explain the changes in cropping pattern in India in the context of changes in consumption pattern and marketing conditions. Tricky question from agriculture, GS3 part. Let's see if you can answer this. I have told this earlier, I'll repeat this once again. If you don't have content to write this answer right now, feel free to search for content online, but make sure that eventually you answer in your own language. That will be the best way forward. You can send your answers as well. I'll be happy to check and give you feedback within a few days. Thank you so much for watching. Do hit the subscribe button if you have not done so far. Bye bye. Jai Hind.